गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. When we live life at a general principle level, then the mind is not cluttered. For example, gravity is a general principle. You don't argue, fight about gravity because it's the common thing for all the things and beings on this earth. And the thought, if anything contrary happens to it, to this gravity, then the thought about gravity will come to your mind. Otherwise, hardly we think about gravity. Like there is a place in United States where on a hill top, if you throw the ball or you roll the ball, and it's a slope, the ball goes upwards, it doesn't go downwards. The rule of gravity tells you that if you leave the ball, it should go down the hill. But there, it goes up the hill. There are 2-3 places like this on earth. Then the question, inquiry, etc. starts in our mind. The cluttering of thought begins. Because there is doubt, there is something out of the norm that is taking place. So when we live our life through this conglomeration of body, mind, intellect, there are certain principles which are common to all human beings. In fact, to all sentient beings. First common rule for all beings with a body is body is born, body will die. To think otherwise is creating mess in your mind. Go a little bit deeper. Body is continuously being born and continuously dying. Cells are every moment the cells are being born and the cells are dying. This is a continuous principle. Come to breath. Breath is also, in breath is born, then in breath dies, out breath begins, out breath dies, in breath begins. That is also going on. Come to the mind, all the emotions. You don't hold on to one emotion permanently. Well, there are some unique ones who defy that. But even if they observe, the emotions are coming and they go away. That is your observation. Then the next emotion will come, it will go away. And this is not specifically for an individual, it is a common principle. And the fourth, that is the intellect. The concepts have taken place, ideas have come, thoughts come, only to go away. When one starts recognizing that one can hold on to nothing. You can't hold on to the body, you can't hold on to the breath, you can't hold on to the emotions, you can't hold on to the concepts. From childhood till now, the concepts have changed, they have come, they have gone. In the childhood, I couldn't live without the toys. As a teenager, I needed a cycle under my bum, otherwise I used to feel constricted. In the youth, I needed a partner, children, job, etc., etc. In the old age, common principle, majority of the people, disease. This is not specifically happening to one, it is happening to all. In life, we cannot let go of anything and we cannot hold on to anything. It is impossible to do both these things. Nothing in this world we can let go, nothing in this world we can hold on to. And once you start recognizing this in your daily living, a new sense of abandonment, or how should I say, abandoned joy, or joy, bliss as a result of abandonment, that starts expressing. Same experience when you take at a larger scale. Larger scale is the day. See, every night, everything lets go of you. You don't have to let go. When you try to let go, when you try to give up, when you try to detach from anything in this world, there is resistance. And that resistance is in the mind. Mind doesn't want to give up. All this is an imagination within the mind. We have to train the mind that, hey mind, from childhood till now, you haven't been able to hold on to anything. So recognize this. So somewhere as we were growing up, the society, ourselves, we have created this format that I must hold on to whatever I have, that I am this body, that I have got this character, these are my traits, these are my qualities, these are my etc., etc. And then we hold on to that, even though nothing you are able to hold on, yet the mind imagines that it can hold on. A classic example of that is, we hold on to yesterday and imagine that the today that we are experiencing ourselves as the body or expressing through this body is the same body which was there yesterday. Therefore the birthday. That I am the same person who was there yesterday, he is there or she is there today also. This is not true. and also it is true. The sameness that is continuing is on account of the spirit, is on account of the consciousness, is on account of the self. Self is a continuous spirit, continuous principle or reality. And that you are. Therefore, you feel you are continuous. But we are making a mistake. We are superimposing that continuity, that unchangingness on the equipment. Equipment being the intellect, the mind, the breath, the body, and the world outside. We are superimposing it on that. Why? Because we are not self-aware. That's why. To be what you are essentially, nothing needs to be done. Just like when you go to sleep, only one, that is, shift of attention from the world to the sleep. Same way, in the going through the life on a daily basis, shift your attention from the world to the self. Just like going to sleep, the world drops the mind. Similarly, the world will drop the mind the moment you become self-aware. The process in the mind will begin. Contrary to that, if you become aware of the world, yes, you are still witnessing the world, and there is a possibility that something in that world will grab the attention of the mind. See? So we are not talking about being aware of the world. That is the first step. There are 3 steps, okay? Let's mention them also by observing our own life. The first is, with respect to the world, remain an observer. The technical word is be a drashta, and drishya is the world. Who is an observer? Observer is he who recognizes that everything he is experiencing through the senses, everything he is experiencing through the mind and intellect is other than him. This position he has to take. Some people call this being aware. This is not being aware. This is being an observer. This is not being self-aware. What will happen as a result of this? The more our mind remains in the observer state, the impact of the world becomes less. Observer will not react to anything that is presented to it, because his attention is on, I am the observer of the equipment, of the world. World is other than me. As the impact of the world on the observer becomes lesser and lesser and lesser, a point comes where this observer in the initial stage, he may slip many times. His attention is, as an observer, his attention is on the world. Second stage, on the world outside. Second stage, the world no longer attracts or distracts him, the outside world. This is what happens as a result of yama niyama. Then he goes within. When he goes within, the same rule is being applied. He is the observer of what? Of the thoughts in the mind. What is the quality of the thoughts in the mind? They can be only of two types. Either they are of the past or they are of the future. Put another way, the thoughts in the mind can be only about time, space, and objectivity. When you become the observer of the thoughts in the mind, you are no longer called an observer, drashta. Now you become the sakshi. Sakshi meaning the witness. When it is with regards to the outside world, you are drashta, the observer of the world, undisturbed by the world coming and going. When the same stance is taken in the inner world, you are called the sakshi, the witness of the mind, undisturbed by the coming and going of the thoughts in the mind. To try to do the second step without having done the first step, very quickly it will be sabotaged. This must happen naturally. The inner pull to close your eyes, to sit in silence, to observe the mind. It's not that you are sitting to observe the mind. You are sitting to be in silence. But you cannot stop the mind from popping up thoughts. If you do that, you're doing it unnatural way. When the first step has been properly done, being an observer of the world, automatically the impact of thoughts in your mind will be very much reduced. But sometimes, as you are sitting in your own mind, the subconscious thoughts, desires, unknown to you, may pop up. But as long as you remain intent on this idea that I am observing, I am not the equipments, thoughts are not mine, they are of the mind, I have got nothing to do with them. Just like I had nothing to do with the world, I was a mere observer. Same thing here. I've got nothing to do with the mind. I am a mere observer of the mind. If you maintain this position for a considerable period of time, the impact of the thoughts, the train of thoughts, production becomes lesser and lesser and lesser. As the thought popping becomes lesser and lesser, the mind expands. Mind is constricted. Mind is feeling the finitude only on account of the thoughts and concepts. One being, I am the body. It's a concept of the mind. I am born in this creation, a concept of the mind. Birth and death, a concept of the mind. So as the thought flow in the mind reduces, mind expands. Lesser the thought, more expansive is the mind, more purified is the mind, more all encompassing is the mind, more blissful is the mind. Lesser the thoughts, the closer is the mind to its own source. No thoughts, the witness has got nothing to witness anymore. So, witness cannot be called a witness anymore, because for a witness there must be something to be witnessed. In the absence of witnessed, the witness falls back into itself. This is your natural position. When we say falls back, recognizes, discovers, all this is so that your mind understands. Nothing like that happens. There is no falling back or discovery. You get into your own original position of being with the capital B. This is our journeyless journey. Be it.